All right, welcome back to the In the Blues live stream. I'm going live randomly and whenever I feel like it. That's the new idea. I'd love to be able to stick to some sort of regular live streaming thing, but I never can. And so it's always impromptu, just the way I like it. I'm a lot more awake than the one the other night. The audio should be fine, and hopefully everything's working. I got a new little webcam here, which I'm really enjoying. And this should just make everything work well. Fingers crossed. Anyway, if you're watching, let us know. I'll just keep an eye out for people joining here. Let me just load the chat and we'll be in business. All right. Let me just pop this out. Pop out chat. Boom. Now I've got this set to subscriber mode, which means if you aren't subscribed, you can't comment, but there's no time restriction. So subscribe if you've got a question, and you can have a chat with everyone else in the chat. And if you've got a question, so John's here already. Number one, he says, "Let me guess, no unboxings today either." You know what? I'll show you a couple of things. Let's throw a spanner in the works. Yeah, man. So for those who joined my impromptu live stream, I didn't even check the title of the video. It said live guitar unboxing, and it wasn't a live guitar unboxing. So yeah. Thanks for joining in, mate. We've got Peter Williams here as well. He says, how are things in the east? Doing well, thanks, man. The weather's finally getting better, which was good. So we're going down to the beach, hopefully tomorrow for a bit of a walk and stuff. So it should be nice. It's good to see some sunshine. And I've been sort of cooped up the last week doing stuff. And it's been good, actually. I got a heap of stuff going on here. Hope you're doing well. All right, we've got the Pork Chop. Thanks for being a member, as always, mate. I do appreciate it. He says, hey, Shane, how are you? Doing well. Just finished off a project today, which I will show you the little something that's coming up. So stay tuned for that. And, yeah, we'll get into that in just a moment. But I thought we'd chat guitars, pedals, amps, maybe even some of the trip stuff that I did, which was pretty cool. Now, hopefully for this weekend, again, if all goes to plan and I get ahead of some stuff that's on the floor down here, Guitar Search Saturdays will be back this weekend. If it isn't, it'll be the following week at the very latest. But I'm going to try my best to get it done this week. The next one should be the one I think a lot of people are waiting for. So stay tuned for that one. Although the last one, man, I was blown away by all the support for that video. I put so much work into the Guitar Sanctuary video, and thankfully Brian was such a great host, and George, the owner, was there. He, we had a great chat with him, and having Rhiannon behind the camera made a huge difference to, the production, and it was casual at the same time, which was great. So it was one of those anomalies on YouTube for me where the video actually did kind of okay. So yeah, it was great. All right. The Pork Chop says, Shane, question your desk. Where did you get it from? If you mean this one, is that the one you mean? I got this from Fantastic Furniture. I think, yeah, probably Fantastic Furniture. This little brown desk. It was either, you know what? It could have been Office Works. It was one or the other. I can't remember. Actually, it was Office Works because I got my other one, the white one on my other channel from Fantastic Furniture. So, yeah, it's a good desk. It's got a couple of drawers. It's messy as in there in the drawers, but it's pretty cool. I'm just going to bring down the exposure here. Let me just nerd out for a minute. How's that? That should hopefully look a little bit better. All right, let's get back to the chat. Sorry, guys. Just setting this up for the first time, this new setup, and I'll be able to also now share the desktop with you. So if there's a link or whatever I need to show you, I can do so. I'll show you that right now. Let me bring up the program. So I'll be able to do stuff like this. How cool is this? So that's obviously my YouTube channel there, but it allows me to kind of share stuff with you on the fly, which is something I've said I've been trying to do for ages. And I never quite get it to work properly. Andy says, hi Shane, I got my Artist AT53 last week. It's a great guitar, and your review helped me a lot to make the decision to buy it. Awesome stuff, mate. That's super cool. Yeah, great guitar, super lightweight, great tone. There's a whole bunch of dudes at the jams and friends of mine who have got that exact guitar. I might actually be reviewing one pretty soon, so stay tuned in a lefty. Great guitars. All right, we've got Change Strangers. Welcome, mate. Hope you're doing well. Thoughts on the G&L situation? Yeah, I heard all I heard was that they might be stopping production. Part of me's like, obviously they make great guitars. There's no question about it. I've owned a G&L ASAT Classic, a US one. It was killer. If I hadn't have had to sell it at the time, I would have. It's one of the guitars I kind of regret getting rid of. It's really good. Even the Indonesian ones are great. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep those going or something like that in the future. But who knows? It is what it is. You never know what's going on with these brands. But I always felt like G&L probably weren't as popular as they could have been, potentially, something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I kind of feel like they make great guitars. I wonder if the shape of the headstock or whatever it is just wasn't the right thing for people to fall in love with it. A little thing like that can make a huge difference. I'm not that precious about that kind of stuff, so I don't really care. If the guitar is great, it's great. Headstock's kind of like an afterthought now. I'm kind of changed my ways when it comes to what I like and what I play and all that kind of thing. I just sort of feel like, yeah, G&L aren't as much of a household name as they should be. I know they're more popular in the US. I just don't see them anywhere in Australia. Here and there as a second-hand guitar potentially, but yeah, it's not a brand I really like them. The Blues Boy is one of my favorite guitars of all time. They make great tallies, but yeah, they're also, like, at least with the US ones, they're pretty pricey, right? Which is normal, but yeah, it might sort of just be pushing that limit a bit too much for folks, especially over the last few years. The dollar's worth jack in most places now. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it, man. I think, not having researched it because I've been working on other stuff, my initial thoughts, I've seen some thumbnails pop up with titles, and I thought, oh man. Yeah, I never actually found a chance to. I never actually looked it up. I should have made some time for it, but I didn't. But that's my some uneducated thoughts on it as of right now. John says the Guitar Sanctuary looks like an amazing place, as did Walt Grace from 3 years ago. Hey, thank you, mate. Yeah, that Walt Grace video, that was a hard pill to swallow. I thought that for sure that video would do well because it was pretty much everything that the last video was. It's funny how certain things take off and others don't. But if you haven't seen that Walt Grace vintage guitars video, Guitar Search Saturday I did, I'll link it down below. We flew to Florida and did a whole coast one side and a whole coast the other side, going to some guitar shops, and that was ridiculously cool. It had a whole lot of like vintage cars, vintage guitars, and just modern guitars and amps and acoustics, and it was crazy. You've never seen anything like it. I think the two shops that are in my mind is the most impressive, Walt Grace and the Guitar Sanctuary. I think just because of the enormity of the Guitar Sanctuary, it gets kind of like the win in terms of design, and they've got a live stage there, which is wild. But in Miami, where I think it was called, what was the name of the suburb Walt Grace was in? It was in like a small suburb outside of Miami, basically, and that whole street was straight out of like one of the Grand Theft Auto trailers. It was crazy. So yeah, it's like just all artwork on the walls, and it was super cool. Excuse me. Nick says, I never thought I'd see the day Shane does a live. Yeah, I don't do them enough, and I don't do them at the right time of day. I always tend to wait to see whether or not it's a good time for the audience, but it's not always practical. I'm like not awake enough in the mornings. I tend to do my most I guess, what am I trying to say? I tend to work best in the morning. So I kind of film and get all that stuff done, do my editing, and then I wait a while. Sometimes I wait too long, and then I just intend to go live and I don't. So I've just started going live whenever I'm actually awake enough to do so. But thanks for joining in, Nick. I appreciate it, mate. Change Stranger says, always wanted to try G&L, but they're difficult to come by in Melbourne. The only Aussie dealer is in Newcastle, and their website has been down for years. Man, I tell you what, there's a few of those guitar shops out there that have their website down for years. I don't get it at all. How do these people get like the business from G&L? How do they become the official distributor or seller of some of these things? I just don't understand it. I might have to open a lefty shop at some point and just do it right. All right. Anyway, yeah, the G&Ls are great. I've played probably 6, maybe more. I don't know. I tried 3. I think the first time at Jerry's. I played 2 the time before that. Played 1 at South Austin Music. And I played another one somewhere else. So the one I owned. So yeah, that's probably all of them. They're great. I don't think I've played any of their like Strat style guitars. They've always been tallies with different pickup combinations, but I really like them. It's a real shame, man. If they are finishing up, it's a bit of a bummer because they're a good point of difference. You know, my interest in like Fender guitars is nowhere near what it was. I'm almost like tuned out from their guitars lately. I like their amps. I've always liked their amps, but I'm less interested in their gear. There's so much better stuff out there that's either less expensive or they have stainless steel frets and they've been doing it for a long time. And I know some of the new guitars have stainless steel frets, but they're $5,500 here. Like, what are they thinking? So yeah, I kind of look for these other things. You know, Tokai, G&L, all these other brands, they're making great stuff. So you can definitely find some awesome alternatives out there. And even some of the new brands, like bloody Ert. I can't believe how nice that guitar is. I showed Ben when he was over here the other day. Oh, actually, this was just before I left. And he was stunned. He's like, man, this is unbelievable. I said, yeah, check out I put it up against my Kiesel, which is much more expensive. And the Kiesel stuff's I freaking love that stuff. But it's really good considering the difference in price. Like they've got something kind of special there. I find that way more interesting now than just another Strat with a different paint job. Sort of kind of tuned out to it a bit. And eventually at some point I'm going to have to get my Strat refretted with stainless steel frets. So that'll be an expense I need to just put up with. But yeah, that'll be something I definitely do because I love my Strat. But I don't think I'll like get another Fender Strat at a high price point. It just doesn't make any sense for me anymore. Even the custom shop ones here now are so expensive. They've gone up like twice the amount, I think, in like 5 years. It's crazy. All right, let me check the chat here. Deja says, yep, the occasional G&L Legacy series pops up down under very, very small brand presence. Yeah, totally. The funny thing is, right, like I'd heard of G&L before I bought mine. I actually bought mine from Randy's Guitar Attic in Ormond, Florida. Ormond Beach, I should say. And like I didn't realize they were like a brand people went, oh man, you got a G&L. Like I remember taking it out when I was playing in San Francisco and stuff. And they're like, oh, you got a G&L, man. What a great guitar. And other people knew them. And I was like, man, I never hear anyone talk about these back home. And that's the thing. Like you play one here, no one knows what they are unless you know what they are. You know, it's one of those kind of things. But yeah. Walt Grace says the address is 300 Northwest 26th Street, Miami, Florida. Yeah, it is. It's in. Sorry, so there's like a area that it's in. You're right. It is Miami, Florida, but it's some sort of district where everything's painted. I can't remember what it's called, but it may come to me at some point. It's been a while since I've thought about that, so it's not in the front of my mind. The Pork Shop says, Shane, the shop in Newcastle with no website. They welcome phone calls, but man, I love meandering websites. Yeah, I mean, like, it's 2025, right? Like, who doesn't have a website? And who wants to go on bloody other websites to try to find stuff, whether they're selling on eBay or whatever? If it's easy to do that. Like, I jump on websites just to see what's on there. And without it, why would you call, right? Like, you don't think the place is open. I don't know. It's just me. I think that's kind of crazy. And he said frustrating. So 100% agree. We got Lauren's Kitchen from Malaysia. Welcome, Lauren's Kitchen. Hey, we've got Rev from North Carolina. How are you, man? Thanks for joining in. Public Liability, welcome back. I think I saw you the other night, actually. He says, I have a Schecter and a Kiesel, a couple of Fenders. I'm not going to lie, the Artist Paisley Strat. I got the Artist Paisley Strat not long ago. Outplays them all. Well, there you go. So that's from someone other than Shill on YouTube telling you it's good. All right, we got. Oh, that's great, man. Well done. Hey, Heidi's here. How you doing? Hi Shane, did you play the 2-Rock amp while you were there? I know they're crazy expensive. Just curious. I wanted to plug into that when I got to. We were in so much of a rush to. That whole filming process was like, I don't know, it was like 3 hours maybe. Like we were like 50 minutes, 60 minutes with Brian. Then I did an interview with George. I had to cut some of that down just for time, but they just said, "Oh, what do you want to plug into?" And I was about to say the 2-Rock. I go, "Oh, I like clean." I said, "I like clean tone," so they just went into that little amp, and it was great. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to play it. It's probably an amp I shouldn't even think about plugging into. But in hindsight, I should have. I should have spent more time just jamming out and stuff. But unfortunately, no. I love 2-Rock amps. Tonally, I think they got some pretty cool mojo. The 2x12 cabs and any of those vertical cabinets are fantastic. All right. We've got T. He says, "Hi, hope all is well. Welcome back. Welcome to the chat." Steve 2, is that how you say that? Got the White Artist Tally coming this week. Looking forward to seeing you in person. Awesome stuff. Congrats, man. That's super cool. I'm looking forward to testing out the new Artist amplifier once the production models come in. So stay tuned for that. That should be coming up hopefully before the end of the year. I can't remember the exact date they're available, but I spoke to the guys, so I will be getting my hands on it. I know Brett Kingman did a review of the prototype, but I was away when that was going around, so I didn't get my hands on that one. But yeah, I'll definitely be getting a production copy at the house here. And if it's as good as it is, there might be some stuff hitting eBay. We'll see how we go. Too bad I can't find Artist guitars in Malaysia. No one bought it in yet. Have to import them if I want one, which brings up the costs. Yeah, that's the problem with guitars, right? They're heavy and large, and you want it to go with a courier company rather than a postal company. And yeah, it really does jack up the price. I don't know if you can find some sort of courier. What's the word I'm looking for? Like on sender. So someone you can send it to them and they'll send it to you. I don't know if there's anything like that locally or not, but yeah. Got some water with me tonight. I've been watching since about 10 years ago or more. I see you started a camera channel because I was also checking out camera gear and stuff. You've improved so much. So glad. Hey, thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like tech. I always have been. I used to work in tech for a long time. Not like an engineer or anything, just like I was a computer nerd. So I've always loved like cameras ever since I was a kid. And I guess the YouTube thing was kind of like it was a good pairing for my personality and skill set to some extent. But yeah, I've been working on my playing. Like recording yourself makes you work on your playing if you've got standards. If I had no standards, I'd be doing the same thing all the time. I've actually written a whole bunch of new backing tracks, and I hope you like some of those that are coming up as well, because yeah, I've been working on some new ideas and I'm starting to connect some dots I never saw before, which is pretty cool. It's funny, like how sometimes you can just be noodling around with an idea and all of a sudden something opens up and you go, oh, how come I didn't find that 6 years ago? It is what it is, right? It sucks. Hi from Ireland. Cool. Public. Welcome, mate. Welcome, Will. Sorry, I misread that. How you doing, man? What are you listening to for inspiration? I can't stop playing The Cold Stairs. I love I've been listening. I said this on recently in a few other videos, or I don't know where I said it, but I've been listening to Guy King. He's a phenomenal singer, great guitarist. Obviously, like he's one of the best. Him and Chris Kane are the two that I'm really listening to. I've been getting back into Tommy Castro a bit lately as well. I used to binge listen to his stuff ages ago, but you can find so many great live shows on YouTube, and that's the rabbit hole I've been going down. There's this really great place in California called what's it called? It's got almost a Hawaiian name. Like anyway, it's this great venue. Let me find it. It's awesome, and there's so many great live shows here. I'll just type it in because I'll share it with you because these clips of these dudes. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, actually, I'll share with you a link first because this is phenomenal. Chris Kane, Guy King. I must have listened to this like 50 times, I reckon. It's just so good. So, yeah, see what you think of this if you are looking for some new inspiration outside of whatever it is that you play. This is so groovy. It's so good. Anyway, it's in the chat. By the way, folks, I think I'm about 20 seconds. Like I'm 20 seconds ahead of what you're seeing. So if it takes me a while to get there, just bear with me. I went for a better quality stream, which might mean that it's a bit laggy. All right. So Mr. Music says, wouldn't be surprised me if Fender bought them out for continuity's sake. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if Gibson did. Yeah, I totally agree. That'd be awesome. Something different, man. Well, whether Gibson would make it better or not's another thing. Prices are what they currently are. Should be doing better than right now. Okay. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who buys them out if they are for sale. That's crazy. Deja says, yep, can't deny, become a massive fan of artist guitars. Bought way too many. You sound like Mr. John in the chat here. I'm just going back up the chat here, guys. One sec. All right. How did I discover the Danny Gatton pickups? Dr. Rick. He had them in his. I don't know how he found out about them, but they're still in there. You know, I went back to a set of whatever they were called, single coil pickups from someone, and I lasted probably about 2 or 3 weeks, and then I went, they're going back in. I've never looked back. They've never come out again, and they're not going to. I also have a single coil Telecaster now too. It basically looks the same if I do want that sound. So I figure, got my noiseless guitar, which I'm playing all the time because it's been modded to death and it's great. And I've got my like traditional American 50s Tele, which gets no playtime at all lately. I haven't used it anywhere because everywhere I play, one of the few places that I play now out live, is always too buzzy for single coils. Eric says, you the man, Shane? Oh, no, you the man. Much love from the USA. Never caught a live before. Hey, thank you, mate. I don't know what time it is in the States. I figured it would be like super early, right? Maybe not, but I'm just going to start trying live streams every now and then again now. So they might be earlier in the day. They might be this time, might be later. Just depends. It's almost 8 p.m. here. It's about to hit 8 p.m. Finished dinner. I thought I'd come back in and do this. I started weight training again for the first time in like a long time. So yeah, I'm going once a week at the moment until I can get over the next day pain of actually pushing something around again. So it feels so good to be back. I had some tendon issues and I just thought I'm going to just let this heal. And it's, man, the balance in your day feels so much better. Even though I'm sore as bloody nobody's business, it really makes you feel good doing anything like that. So as a dude who mostly sits on his ass at home, it's it's great to be out lifting something again, even once a week right now. So yeah, like really stiff. Hey, we've got Todd Steele here. Welcome, mate. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. able to take the punt on a range of really affordable quality semi-hollows. Yeah, artist guitars are great, man. It is like, it's like that range of Harley Bentons. And unless you try one, then you go, oh man, this is awesome. That's exactly right. They make good stuff. That opening note on the hollow body was killer. Yeah, man. If you're talking about that link I posted, Guy King and Chris Kane are the best. Like, they're unbelievable players. Like, they just never dry up. You'll hear a lot of the kind of weird. Some of my licks I've ripped straight off Chris Kane, and I'm sort of working on a few from Guy at the moment, and I'm also incorporating some new stuff into the playing, which sounds kind of exciting, and it's because it's relating. I think I made the mistake of trying to learn something too outside of my wheelhouse. So I've kind of like put that on the back burner, and I'm learning something that's a slight change on or in the way that I would usually see the guitar neck. And it's funny how quick it clicked. I was like, oh, I've just got to make some minor changes here, and then you can sound pretty different. So yeah, I'll do a video about that coming up too, just in case anyone's sort of looking for new ideas. I'll show you something too. Did I bring it in? What? That's a no. All right, I'll show you something. Check this out. So I got a couple of pedal videos coming up, which might not sound too exciting, but these are cool. So I only have the case for this one right here. This is from Sakalis Audio Works, which I've never said correctly in my life. And anyway, it's this one called the Funkify, which I just shot the video of today. I recorded a new disco track, sort of disco funk. It's a bit of that. This is basically an auto wah pedal, or what do you want to call it? Like I guess auto wah is the best. It's like an envelope filter. That's the best way to describe it, because it is, but it's also an octaver, or one or the other, or both. And it friggin' rocked, man. I was having so much fun with this. So if you see this video go up, you're looking for something a little bit different. There's nothing in there right now, obviously, but yeah, unbelievable. It's super cool. And this is the last one I'll show you here from this. Look at this. The Mothership. You want to have a look at this? I'll unbox this one. This looks crazy. I'll just go back to the chat. All right. Shane, your guest video from 9 years ago with Dave came up on my feed last night, and I watched most of it. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was fun. Dave's such a cool guy, man. He's a dude. Speaking of which, too, I'm going to bring this up. We're going to do another jam session thing, very similar to what we did at Sky Music, but it won't be at Sky Music. It'll be here. So, yeah, we got something organized, something cooking, something a little bit different. I'm going to test out a few things in the mix and share with you that video when it's ready. So, yeah, that'll be in the next, won't be for another 10 days or so, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that. The jam at the shop was just so much fun. Like, it really was, but logistically, it's a little bit of a pain because it's like after hours, it gets late, everyone's tired. But yeah, man, there'll be some more live playing stuff coming up. Artist guitars get great feedback overseas. Good solid instruments. That's from Greg B. Awesome stuff. Yeah, Eastman's another guitar that's really great. I think they get sort of like this weird, it's like a weird stigma attached to them for some reason. I don't know if it's just the name, but play a good Eastman guitar, they're right up there with the best. They're ones with the violin finish are crazy. They're so good. It's like the whole high-end Tokai thing, right? Like, they're just built beautifully. Chris Kane wears overalls like no other. I totally agree, man. He's a character. There's this funny clip of him and Guy King playing at Buddy Guy's Legends, the new venue version of it, and he's got this nice suit on, and he said he caught his leg on a nail and ripped his pants, and he's like, he can't win. He tries to look nice, and Yeah, that's what happens. PRS has announced the Herman 2, I guess that is, right? Dragon Force signature, 4,400 New Zealand dollars for an SE. What? Oh my God. What are they thinking? That should be like a $2,000 guitar maximum for an SE, right? Is there something in there that we're missing? Is there like US pickups, US blah, 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 hand wide, something? I don't know, man. That sounds to me kind of crazy, but who knows? I don't know anything about that guitar. So let's see if I can bring this up, because that is, oh, actually that's New Zealand dollars too, right? So what's that, about $4,000 here? It's still expensive. Let's have a look. PRS Herman 2 Dragon Force signature. Man, I'm so out of the loop with this stuff, which is hilarious because I'm so in my own world. I don't know if I've mentioned this on live streams, but I'm only like sub to a handful of channels now. I've sort of just switched off from a lot of the, like the news stuff that's coming out. I follow probably like 15 brand channels, like Fender, Gibson. Oh, actually, I don't follow Gibson anymore. I used to follow Gibson. Maybe I still do. I don't know. Just some of the guitar manufacturers and stuff, Kiesel and a few of the others. But yeah, I don't see the news anymore. I just want to see if I can find this guitar somewhere. I'm not having much luck here. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see if I can share this. Hopefully this works. I don't know if, oh, hang on a sec. Oh, how do I do that? Let's have a look. Yeah. Let's see if this works. So I should have probably have just, oh, here we go. Yeah, it worked. So is that working for you guys? Hopefully that works. It looks cool. I got to say, it actually looks great. But $4,400. Far out. Actually, it looks good if you liked like metal from the 80s, which is this is a guitar like not, I'm literally the opposite of the target audience for this. It's for dudes like this guy with the long black hair, which is totally fine. By the way, he's way cooler than me. I'm just saying, like, I am not the target audience for this whatsoever. It's this dude right here. Obviously, he's the guy, but yeah, I mean, it looks like a beautiful guitar. The top's crazy, so yeah, it looks beautiful, but not for me. Anyway, thanks for that. All right, let's go back here. Mark says, oh, he's talking to Jono. Very good. Awesome. Bro, the PRS SE, I'm sure they made the same place. They're sure they made it the same place as the artist guitars. How can you justify that much for an instrument from China? Yeah, well, it is what it is, right? The only time it's justified is if they're actually handmade. This is the argument too. Like, this is the Eastman argument. They put more time into doing it the old-fashioned way, like the way the Japanese manufacturers would, or the US manufacturers would, and that just costs more to do it that way. Excuse me, sorry guys. If that's a guitar that's just built with like how Fender do it, they just cut stuff out and go to the next one. That's a lot of money. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they end up costing at some point here, because yeah. Sakalis, VS Audio, Crazy Tube Circuits, Greek builders might be some of the best on the planet. 100% jam pedals, put them in there. The Greeks, man, they're the masters of being able to put like great, like this is the thing I complain about with other brands. If you have to hard dime any control all the way to one side to get it to sound good, it sucks. Any pedal where like you have to have something at its maximum, they haven't thought about it enough. And every pedal from the Greek manufacturers, you can put at 1 o'clock. Everything at 1 o'clock, it's going to sound great. it may be different for delays and all that kind of thing, but just in terms of drive pedals, it's not even close. They make the best and easiest to use stuff, and it sounds great. Anyway, Mark Tanner says, "Hey Shane, I wish you knew you were headed to Texas. Been in the States since August. Oh, you lucky thing, mate. Very cool. That's super cool." Yeah, it was just like, it was one of those things. I'd planned to go to Texas a few times, and things came up where it just didn't happen. The trip we went to Florida for back in 2022, we were supposed to go to Texas, and it just didn't work out. The car had problems, and there were a few other things going on too. So we didn't make it over. And then before that, I tried to get there, and I lost my tickets thanks to the old COVID, bullshit that happened. So I ended up taking a pretty big hit on that. I never got my money back for the trip. I got credit that I could only use for anyway. It was a nightmare. So I tried to get there a few times, and I ended up recontacting a few of the folks I was keen to visit, and it all worked out. So there's a few more awesome videos coming up. The Pork Chop says, "Shane, Sky Music has the Herman SE, $3,200. All right, let's have a look. Is it only in right-handed? That's the PRS way, right? Make everybody wait 3 years. Herman SE. There's no fault of Sky Music, by the way. It's just like this is the fault of the. Let's try this. Here we go. Boom. There it is. So this is cool. I can actually share this with you in like its own browser. So $3,300 Australian. Well, that is $3,200 Australian. So that is the deal price. So even here they're $4,000. That's crazy. I can't believe they're so expensive. There's got to be something going on, right? I'll have to read this when I can actually see it, because it's oh, here we go. Let's see if there's anything here that. Oh, it's got the Fishman Fluent Signature Series pickups. I just want to see if there's anything. Floyd Rose 1000 Tremolo. Okay, so the hardware might be more expensive by the looks of it. Obviously, the pickups are going to cost more. PRS design tuners, whether they're made wherever they're made is, I'm not too sure. But anyway, I mean, again, let us know in the comments if this is something you'd be interested in. This is definitely for shredders, man. I mean, the Floyd Rose and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I actually really like the top. The finish looks cool. All right, let's go back here. No, here. Boom. All right. Yes, we can see it. All right, cool. Thanks, man. All right, the cheap Chinese guitars are built to a price point, cheaper parts and shortcuts. They can build more expensive stuff and work to quality instead of price. Yeah, totally. You don't expect them to be cheap. I totally agree. Todd says we saw the post from Southpaw. That would be on my. Oh no, I might have posted it on my feed, but if not, you can follow my Instagram. And there's an episode coming up pretty soon from there. It's going to be rocking. So I'll schedule that up ahead of time. I'd love you guys to come and check out the live premiere for that. And everybody, thank you again for, if you've just joined the chat, everyone who, liked, commented, all that stuff on my last one. It made such a huge difference to how that video got pushed and shared. And it really made a huge, like people came from everywhere. I got like 400 subscribers. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, thank you. And if you like those videos, even just drop a thumbs up. All that stuff helps. Comment in the main comment section. Double awesome. So thank you. Please tell me we have a guitar situation. Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, mate. I misread your chat. The only problem with this new live streaming thing, I can't put the comments on screen, unfortunately. So sorry about that, but hopefully it's all working okay. I said on my Patreon video, I got a behind the scenes thing. I was like sick of trying to set everything up to make it look a particular way all the time. I miss the old days of just having it simple and fun. When you can just, a webcam's good enough, and the webcam now is good enough. So hopefully it's all working okay. Jamal says, yes, Todd, Southpaw GSS is coming with our mate Jamal guest starring. That's right. Jamal's going to be potentially in the video. I'm about 50% through the episode, and I just had a few other things come up. So I plan on finishing that this week. If I can get it, the way these videos work for me, I do them in about 1 hour stints. So I spend an hour. I'm like, that'll do. On to something else, finish another project, come back, do an hour. And I do that 3 or 4 times. I was lucky I had my computer with me in the US too. So I kind of put things in a very basic order. And it made a massive difference to sorting. I did all the sorting and everything while I was away. It was awesome. So, by the way, guys, I've got something I want to show you. I don't know. I can't do like an intermission thing, but I want to show you something, and it's in the other room. Do you mind if I run off and grab it? I want to, because there's something here that I'm actually really keen to share with you, because I'm pretty excited by it. I'm hoping, I got my fingers crossed, it might be a keeper. John says the Herman SE is also very thin body too. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I find, like, other than John Mayer, man, I really don't know any of the other artists for PRS, which is why, like, stuff like that goes completely under my radar. I don't really know even the player. Like, it could be my obliviousness, or just that I'm hyper niched in particular types of music. But yeah, it's funny. How you going breaking out of the pentatonic learning modes, chromaticism? Yeah. So I'm learning particular things that are helping my playing in a musical way. And I'm working on things that I've always wanted to understand, but never could, or never put the time into it. So my playing's, it messed with my head the last few weeks, because now I've got some knowledge about another way of looking at things. I found it stuffed up my fluidity. I was overthinking things. I was trying to land on certain notes. I was trying to do things that weren't second nature, and it was a really clunky couple of weeks. So I thought, all right, just play. If you hear this thing in your head that you want to do, this new thing, go for it. Because I played last weekend, and was it last weekend? The week? Yeah. And I was really clunky because I was just like overthinking things. And I lost my fluidity because of that. This week is a completely different scenario. I feel like I'm flowing big time. And I'm hearing these ideas where they should be musically. So it's going to be a process that they always say, like, it's easy to learn the things that inspire you. And that's kind of where I'm at. That's how I learned how to play blues, listening to great players, listening to all that kind of stuff. So, it's about actively listening to ideas and concepts, and then really drilling it in to a point where, like, you hear it in your head and it connects with your hand. And that, to me, is a little bit more time consuming. But I just spent the last few nights working on just playing sevenths, like accenting the sevenths in every chord change. And it's like all of a sudden tied the blues together like it never did before. Or I did it occasionally and I was like, oh, that was cool. Can't remember what I did. So it's, there's some really great concepts. I'll run you through some of the stuff I've learned in a second if you want. But for me, it's not just like, I love playing blues. I love the sound of it. I was just getting really bored with what I knew. I was maybe potentially refining what I knew, but never really getting past certain points. I take chances and they pay off, but I'll be like, still not really what I want to be doing. So yeah, I've got some sort of stuff in my mind now that's kind of exciting. I've actually been working on it. It's great. If it's a new mole, Shane, don't show it. So I won't. Don't worry about that. All right, go get it. I'll be one sec, guys. One sec. Alrighty. Where is this? All right. So we've got some cool stuff. He's still talking. Yeah. I think I'm about 40 seconds ahead of everybody. So sorry about that, guys. I'll try the other setting next time. This looked like it was going to be the better of the quality option. So I got a new set of ToneRider pickups here. And these are the new pickups, which I'm dying to try. These are the Apex Classic set in a lefty. So a left-handed set of new noiseless ToneRider pickups. And guess what? Jordan, the lovely dude from ToneRider, pre-wired it on a vintage pickguard for my Strat. Check this out. It looks beautiful. This arrived today. And these, great. They're not the big, deep, noiseless pickups that you might find from Fender or whatever. They're actually the normal size with a little plate on the bottom, which kind of gets rid of the buzz. And it looks great. So I can't wait to wire this in. When I got back from Texas, I found my soldering iron. I needed to do some work on something, and it turned on, but it never heated up. So I got a new soldering iron today, and I get my what do you call it? Soldering iron holder. Is that what it's called? I get that coming up tomorrow. It should be delivered. So man, I can't wait to try these out. Everyone loves ToneRider pickups. Everyone says they're great value. Everyone says this and that. And I finally officially get to test them, which I'm really looking forward to. So again, these are the Apex Classic. It says the ultimate glassy bell-like Strat tone, now with studio-level hum reduction, perfect for blues, funk, country, and more. Scatterwound on Alnico 5 magnets. So, this should just drop straight into the my one and only Strat. I'm really looking forward to it. The dude was nice enough to send out some stickers and T-shirt and stuff as well. So, it's a little ToneRider sticker. They're basically the same. These aren't the same pickups, but ToneRider pickups are used as no-name pickups in like the Squire Classic vibes and stuff. And if you've ever played those pickups sing. So I'm really looking forward to trying that. Happy soldering, don't burn yourself. Mate, I tell you what, I burnt myself once using it, and I'll never make that mistake again. I want to refret my old guitars and use those again. Man, it doesn't look that hard to do. Like, that's what public liability is saying below you there. But it's a time-consuming thing. And also, if the guitar's like something you love, like, I don't want to risk that. I'd rather give it to someone else, spend the time personally doing other things. So, I'd rather take it to a pro. But you're right. It'd be a really great skill to have. It just requires tooling and all the rest of it that goes, along with it. You want it to be great, right? You don't just want it to go, most of the frets are okay. And that's the kind of job I'd end up doing. But I've done enough sort of like small electronic jobs like this with pickups, and I did my noiseless pickups, did the lace sensors, and put pickups in and out of guitars for years. So, Anyway, I'm really keen to try these out. I don't know if anyone else has seen any videos on these. I haven't looked into them. I try not to. I just try to do my thing. And one of the benefits of doing that is, like, I know my gear so well. Like, I know my amps, I know my recording setup, I know my studio monitors, I know all that kind of stuff so well that if I can get my tone out of these pickups and they feel good to play, like that's the thing, the feel, they can be noiseless, but they don't feel great, then that's not great. If they feel great and they're noiseless, that's awesome. These look different to what I'm used to seeing from straight up noiseless guitars. So yeah, the reason I went back to the lace sensors from the Hot Noiseless Fender pickups that I got, the Jeff Beck ones. The Jeff Beck ones were hard to break up. Like you really dig in, they weren't giving you much back. They just got louder. The lace sensors, while they're not completely noiseless, they're far from it actually in certain rooms. They're more noiseless than a normal pickup, but they have the feel. Like you dig in and it gets kind of squishy. I like that. And I'm hoping that these kind of solve that problem of not being quite enough that the lace sensors have for me. And yeah, I can't wait to try these out. So yeah, he did a really great job of wiring all this up, and we'll make some noise coming up. Yeah, I must be 40 seconds ahead. I'm at least. Let's have a look. It should tell me actually. No, it says 16 seconds. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, all good. They offer them into a pick card. I'd certainly grab one. Yeah, I told I didn't tell anyone anything, but I asked Jordan whether or not he could do it for time efficiency's sake. I said I'm not interested in like doing the whole job myself of ripping out pickups that I love. Like if you can replace the pick guard, I'd happily do it. And he did. It made a huge difference. Now all I have to do is put two. I had to put the earth and another thing to one of the lugs, and that's it. And I'm done. So it just really makes that whole process easy. Because if I don't like them, I can go straight back to my old ones. But I do plan on using these a few times. So I'm going to do obviously my review with them. I've then got a live gig coming up, so I'll be using them for that. I'll test them out in that room that has the god-awful buzz. And, yeah, I'll try and get some, live stuff with it just to see how they handle the room test. I'll just grab a drink. Deja says, nice work on great attention to detail on the left-handed pickup pole piece of stagger. Yeah, totally, man. That's the one thing, like for those who don't know, usually with a lot of noiseless pickups, all the pole pieces are flat. On this one, it's they're staggered properly, which is great. I love the look of these. They look like the original 56 pickups, I think, that were in here that I took out. This looks exactly the same. It's funny how things work sometimes, like I was just thinking, I should probably replace the volume control on my Strat. I noticed when I was turning all the way down recently that it was making that crappy noise, man. I'm like jinxed with volume controls on guitars. But yeah, this is all new, so it'll work. I'm really looking forward to giving this a rip. There's going to be a mix of stuff coming up. As I mentioned, there's going to be some sort of like weird, different kind of stuff that I'll be putting together. I'm going to try something slightly funny again. Everyone wants me to do this sloth. What was his name? Not Sloth. Was it Sloth? I don't know. Like I used to wear that black wig and play metal, or try to. Anyway, I've got another idea that I'm going to work with. There's a pedal that's coming in, and it didn't interest me at all. I said to the guys, man, I love your stuff, but this is crazy. I'm not, obviously, this isn't a pedal. I don't know why I was emailed about this, but I said, if you want, I'll just have some fun with it and put together something completely different. And he goes, do it. I said, I'm not going to go through the controls. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm just going to plug it in and we're going to make some noise and I'll make it weird. So stay tuned for that. Hey, Public Liability, thank you, mate. General support on YouTube members. Thank you, man. You're a rock star. And a super chat. Thank you, mate. He says, here's a coffee for you. Thanks, mate. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Oh, far out. Very nice. Thank you, mate. Thanks, everyone, for joining in, too. I appreciate it. Todd was out of here, was he? Sorry, mate. I missed that. I hope you have a good night. But, yeah, thanks for being a member, man. I post behind-the-scenes stuff and just little updates. You should be able to find, like, a live the big session I did at the shops recently. You can watch the whole jam session without any other edits, so you can check that out. That was my last upload, I think. But yeah, stay tuned for more sort of behind the scenes stuff. It's basically very similar to what I do on Patreon. Not as often, but I try my best to do dual uploads if I can. Hey, Gold Top Rob, how you doing, man? He says he's having a bad day today, but being here, I already feel better. Hey, thank you, mate. Well, a bunch of guitar nerds, so you're in good company. Anyway, mate, I hope you're doing all right. Thanks for joining in. We're at the 55-minute mark. This is flying. How's the stream been? Has it been all good so far? This might be I think this will be the new setup. Slosh. That's right. Slosh. I couldn't remember. So thank you, mate. Pepsi Max fun. Speaking of which, I'm like, basically, like a while back, I was at the Melbourne Guitar Show. I broke one of my teeth on, it was a filling. Like I had it recently done like 3 months beforehand. The dentist said, oh, this might last 3 months. It might last 3 weeks. It might last 3 days. It might last 3 years, or it'll be fine. Last 3 months. And anyway, I was going to get all this sort of like orthodontic stuff started, but I got messed around with the business. It was taking forever. Nothing got done, and then I just didn't trust them. So the long story short, he said, you've got to stop drinking so much Pepsi Max and all these drinks. So I only have them on Sundays now. If I'm at the jam or whatever, I'll have a can or two, and that's it. So I've cut them out of my diet almost completely. So I still have the odd white monster, but yeah, I'm right down on the Pepsi Max. I might be having 3 a month, maybe a couple of Coke Zeros a month as well. So yeah, I realized like when I stopped doing that, how much I had, I was like, it's my coffee, right? So I was having 2, 3, I'd be buying like 2 600ml bottles a day at least. And yeah, it was funny. I was like, oh, I'm actually saving a few bucks. It's great. But I do appreciate it. Thank you, mate. Hey, thank you, Public Liability. Appreciate that. He says, love your channel, Shane. You're a normal person like us. Guitar Whiz, happy to support the real ones. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, it's funny, the whole YouTube thing. Like, I think part of the reason I tuned out from a lot of channels was I found myself watching smaller channels more, which is what my channel was for a long time. And it's easy to get caught up in like that approach, like the eye cancer approach, where like there's too much going on screen, all those stupid sound effects. It never really appealed to me. And while I had a way of doing things that were the way that I did things, I was like, I want to sort of simplify this, make it more normal again. I kind of missed the days where I just had a camera or two and like it wasn't like as much of a production. I still love the camera stuff and I do my thing, but I'm just having more fun with it now. It's actually been so enjoyable, like stripping the multi-camera thing back and just making it a bit more relatable. You know, I saw a comment on one of the videos. I don't know if it was on mine or someone else's channel, where they said, how come all these dudes sit in rooms with like blue LEDs behind them and we're in a room with our light on or something like that, just about a ceiling light on? I thought, yeah, they're right. Like it's like so unrelatable the way a lot of these channels do things, and those dudes screaming into the microphone. It's like, dude, yeah, I've just switched off from it. And so many channels do it. I still watch Steve from Boston and Tone King and a whole bunch of dudes, Andy Martin and a few of the other dudes still, but I've just switched right off from it. It started about 2 years ago for me, where I was just like losing interest in a lot of stuff. I don't know, man. It's sort of, yeah, it was getting harder for me to want to like watch anyone else's stuff. I thought the only way this is going to work for me is if I just tune out and go back to just doing whatever I like. And that's where we're at now. So thank you, mate. Thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate that. I love your channel. And you said you're a normal person. That's great. Thank you. Mart, from the UK says the streaming is perfect. Thanks, man. That's super cool. I don't know if you can hear this. Actually, let's see. Plug this in. I'll just plug this in. One sec. Jazz. Dunlop Prime Tone Jazz 3. What's that? No max headroom effect. Yeah. Also, the trick with the soda is to use the straw. So that's what I'm doing. Anytime I now have the monsters, that's how I do it. So that's like my morning coffee. I've also found out that I could go for... There's these things you can buy that dissolve in water. They're like kind of like a multivitamin, but they're caffeinated. Awesome. Just one sec. Yeah, so some of this stuff's pretty rough that I'm working on, but I'll show you some of kind of what's going on. So I was sort of like messing around with, I don't know if this is going to work. Can you see that? Can you still hear me? Let's have a listen to this. It's going to clip, right? Oh, no. I don't know if that works, but we'll see how we go. Stream has been great. Audio is fine. You were washed out at the start. Yeah, I think it's this light. I think it's too bright. But I fixed it. Let me have a look. Oh, that is as low as it goes. Maybe I can just turn it around a bit more. You've been working on some ideas for blues, like there's this, like accenting different notes through the chord changes and coming up with some, I guess, different... Like there's a few things that I've learned recently that I can show you easily that can make you think about 12 bar a little bit different. So if you're in A, start by playing the major. So over the 1 chord, wherever it shows up, play major, wherever you want to play it. And then if you're over the 4, just play A minor pentatonic. Over the 5, this is where it gets kind of interesting, right? So you can play over E minor, or you play B minor. So you go from the 4 to the 5, play B minor. Back to the 4. So I've been thinking about just those simple things, right? They're things that anyone can do if you can play the minor pentatonic 3 frets back and play it there, which just gives you the major scale, or play it through that way. Or there's all these other things that I've been working on too. So like to get from the 1 to the 4, I'm playing a jazz turnaround in terms of what notes I'm playing here to get to the 4. So that's cool. That's a whole different thing. So I'm superimposing 2-5-1 turnaround to get to the 4, which completely changes the feel and the sound, right? And that's great. That's one of those sort of like things I've always... So it's just a nice kind of simple jazzy sort of idea. Now the other stuff I've been working out are all the rhythm parts that I've always wanted to learn as well. So there's more to it than that, but that's kind of where I'm at now. Chris Kane, right? If you go watch his stuff, he does a lot of, like, this is where I pulled all that kind of stuff from. It's from Chris Kane. But there's like notes I could have landed on that make things sound much better. So while that's great over the 1, over the 4, could have just landed in better places to make the chord changes really obvious. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about more now. And if you just want to play through the blues scale, you can play by accenting the notes in the chords. Back to the A. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of like oh. You've been learning a lot of this really cool like rhythm idea stuff that I've wanted to play too. So if you say I'll go B flat because it's a bit easier to showcase it, but Chris Kane does this great rhythm thing. So he plays that over the 1, over the 4, so there's like these are comping ideas that I would play like a. So it sort of gives you some different things to different sound, different spot in the mix, all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been fun, and I've been learning like all this sort of sevenths. I'm working on one thing at a time, basically. So some of this sort of picking some. Yeah. That was pretty rough. To the 4. So these are ideas that kind of make you feel like you're playing, like even if I'm not playing the chords, you kind of can hear where the song's going or where the blues is going. And that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. And it's not just, though that was mostly 7th ideas, but you do all this like really small changes in your playing that take you between the chords. It's kind of, see if I can remember it. So yeah, over the 1, and then over the 4. Now I only move one note. So yeah, it's funny, kind of like I'm hearing these things when I'm noodling around now that I never heard before, and I'm also taking some chances, and a lot of them aren't really paying off, and then they do. And I'm like, oh, so if I'm playing that sort of 7th idea, like, oh, that was a poor man's version of it, but yeah, I can start to sort of find these notes. You can find these notes I would not necessarily accent over other chords that work in that are sort of like outside of the scale sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's been fun, but it's definitely been a challenge learning some of this stuff, but also it's very practical. And that's what it is for me. Like I don't want to learn something just so I can play a run and never use it. There's probably a great time and place for that too, but I'm all about like what can I throw into what I already know. So, you know, playing the 1, go to the 4. Instead of just chugging away like this or playing a 7th or this 7th or, you know, the bloody this one, I can now go, you know, it's just a whole different thing. It sounds completely different, but it's practical, right? So, yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank you, DJI. This is a Fender 52 reissue. It's my oldest guitar. It looks relict, but it's just well played. I got this back in I think 20. I can't remember the exact year. I think it was 2010, maybe 20. Yeah, somewhere around there. But anyway, it's a great guitar. Everything's been changed and modded. Got the Danny Gatton pickups in here. We've got the angled switch plate, whatever you want to call it. I had to glue that on. We've got all new pots and stuff, but yeah, it's a great guitar. Stainless steel frets. I did them before it was expensive to do so. Yeah, I'm working on some ideas. They're not all flowing yet, but I'm hearing some different tricks. Yeah, especially those chord change ones, man. Like just little things like that connect chords, little runs. It's cool. I'm not playing it as intuitively as I would like or as tidy, but that comes with time and practice. The guitar's intonated so well. This is one of those guitars, like it's an absolute tank. I use this more than I use anything else in terms of, my tallies. I have used this more than I've used anything else. It's just a beast. It really is. It's great. If I had to keep one of my Fender tallies, my other guitar's better than this, but I like this one more. It really is great. So, yeah. It's made in the US. Yeah, it's I don't know, Corona, California. I got this from San Fran many years ago from Hate Street Music, I think it's called. All right. So anyway, hopefully I didn't bore everybody to death, but that's some of the ideas here through my little amp in the room. Do I also have a photo YouTube channel? Yeah, I've got a camera and tech channel called Geeky Nerdy Techie. But only subscribe there if if you're into that stuff, because dead subs no good for the channel. Let me just bring this exposure down here. It still looks a little bright. Oh, that looks heaps better, right? Far out, man. Why didn't I do that earlier? Well, I'm an idiot. I'll get it right for the next live stream. Yeah, someone said Josh Smith, great teachers. Yeah, that guy, man, he's got a huge old brain on him. I remember him talking about, like, my friend Brian actually sent me one of his videos, and he said, "Oh, watch this," because I sent him another video where I learned some of this stuff. And I watched it. It's just like, you got to have a pretty high level of playing ability to sort of understand. Well, I understood some concepts of what he was talking about, but I didn't actually, I didn't know how to make use of any of it. He's a great player. It's weird, man. People, I reckon he's one of the best modern players. Like, name someone else who hasn't been around for 30 years longer, who's like as good as him. Like, Josh is a beast of a player. He really is great. He's an absolute demon playing through the changes and all that kind of stuff. It's really impressive. He's great. Cool telly sounds great. Hey, thank you, mate. I love lightweight guitars, Japanese hybrid too. Lightweight and excellent. Yeah, I always wanted to review one of those. I never got a chance because there's no lefties. But all right. Will says, would you have a recommendation for a portable amplifier for band practice and live stage that can cut the mix? I have a Katana 100 Mark II, but it doesn't sit good in live rehearsal. Yeah, see, this is the thing, right? Like, my suggestion would be, before you buy anything, to put your Katana on the clean channel and grab a tube screamer. It will fill out everything that amp is missing in terms of frequency. So tube screamers are more mid-heavy, more mid-focused. They're not super mid-focused, but they do have a mid-hump. And they're also shaving off the low end and the top end, which is a good thing for a Katana. So I feel the same. I feel like Katanas are very blizzarded nails from the front. They don't really sound great in a mix unless they're mic'd up. So I would say before you buy another amp, try a pedal. Because as a clean platform, they're pretty good. And that doesn't mean like the onboard effects are going to sound as good. You might get far out, man. I shouldn't have had dinner so soon. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I would say try Tube Screamer. I think any of those TS9, TS808s, TS10, Maxon Overdrive Pro or OD808 or any of those other ones, or even a Joyo vintage, what are they called? Vintage overdrive pedals. Any of those would sound great. That will give you a great kind of hump in the mix that might actually really help. If you're looking for the thing I don't know what your budget is either, because there's like you might be able to just do that with like a Marshall DSL-20 and a pedal. Like that would be a better amp in my opinion for context of a mix. I've used the Marshall DSL-20 in the context of a band mix, and they're fantastic. The drive channel's a bit heavy metal, but the clean channel's killer. It's great. So DSL-20 would be a good choice. If you're looking for more volume, you can pretty much pick anything, right? Even like I would take a Princeton over, obviously they're way more expensive, but Princeton amps have a great sound in the mix to a point that might not be loud enough for what you're looking for. I don't really know. I need probably a little more info. JD Simo, yeah, I remember him from years ago. I was watching some stuff of him recently too. He was playing some almost finger picking stuff. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. DJI says any Marshall. Yeah, there you go. Wishko one says, love your channel. Please allow me to ask you a question. What pick do you prefer? I'll answer that to start with. I've been using these for like 10 plus years. Chicken picks. Not sponsored. They're just great. This is believe it or not, it's a 2.6 millimeter one, which sounds insane if you're used to playing 1 millimeter picks or whatever. I used to play the Jim Dunlop nylons, which I still don't mind if I'm in a pinch, but these are the best. I've had this pick, this black, so you can see how like scuffed up it is. It's made with this kind of strange composite. I've had this for like 10 years. I haven't lost it because they're expensive. But yeah, they're great. I got a small pile of them over here. I got my friend onto them as well, and he ended up moving back to his old jazz. I can't remember what Dunlops they were, but he goes, "Do you want these back?" So I bought him a couple of cold drinks at one of the jams or something, and he gave them back. So yeah, all these little 2.6 ones are the way to go, and they're from Chicken Picks. And the second question, and is a Boss Katana 100 combo loud enough to gig without a PA? It is loud enough. We were actually just talking about this before, but sometimes they don't cut the mix that well. The 212s are, they're better in the mix, but what I found with some of these amps, they have too much low end. You've really got to sort of think about your EQ before you go out. And if you are using them, like they're plenty loud. But I used to own one of the version 2s, I think it was, and it was very directional. It didn't have the spread of sound I was used to, and that's pretty common for a lot of like digital, at least some digital amps. They're not all like that, but yeah, they're loud enough. They're just probably a little bit more work to get the sound that you might be looking for. If you're thinking you can just dial in all the effects under the sun from using the software and then take it out and it's going to be perfect, that's not the case. If I was using one, I'd say buy a PV Bandit. PV Bandit, Red Stripe. You're done. They're plenty loud. They've been proved to, over the last 30 years, 40 years, they're loud enough to gig with. And you don't have to worry about all that digital stuff. If you're a live player and it's not working for you and you need a computer to adjust something, you're in a world of pain. So, yeah, I'd say they are loud enough, but they're also sometimes not the sound everyone is looking for. I think they're great value amps, but yeah, they're not for me. I'd rather a PV Bandit or a, any of those kind of style solid state amps. Public Liability says, I use the Jim Dunlop 3mm big stubbies. Oh, yeah, they're great. For years, recently went back to the Jim Dunlop Max Grip. I don't know those ones, actually. I had to relearn to play because of it. You know what? If I'm not using a chicken pick, I'm struggling. I'm so used to the way these feel and the attack, and I can do certain things with these picks now that I can't do with my, like any other pick. You go to a guitar shop, they give you one of those, 5-cent bloody plastic pieces of crap. And I'm like, oh no, like it's just rather play without it. And not to belittle those picks. If you're used to them, they're great. They're great value, but I'm not used to them anymore. I've been using these for so long. When I go back to a normal pick, it takes me so long to get used to it. I still have a few picks from other companies here, ones I bought and all that as well, and just from guitar shops. And that was one of my first ones, one of these old Fender ones, these heavies. I used to use that back in the day. But a few Sky Music ones here, and where else? I got a whole bunch of picks. There's actually some in the big stubby. I've got one of those. They're actually really good. If I didn't use chicken picks, I'd probably use the big stubby. I actually really like those. Shout out to Wayne for recommending that years ago to me. Always carry your picks with you. That's how they end up in the washing machine. Yeah, usually anytime I go to leave the house now, if I'm going to a store or whatever, I'm taking a chicken pick with me. I can't get used to it otherwise. It's brutal. Eddie, thank you, mate. He says, hey, Shane from Sydney, loving your latest content. Hey, thanks so much, mate. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm putting a lot of work into, a good mix of stuff. It's funny, those Fender amp videos were shot like a month ago. They just went up. The release date was kind of like quite a ways ahead, which was great. I had, was able to get those videos done before I went away. And then, I've got a good mix, hopefully a good mix of stuff coming up for everybody, whether you're into the reviews, the Guitar Search Saturdays, or live streams. Got a new jam coming up as well, and I'm going to be doing some videos that are a little bit different with gear that might interest you as well. So in a slightly different twist. Did I get a chance to go to Austin? I did. Yeah, we went there for a couple of days. So just to give you a heads up on the trip, we got in at Dallas and we went up to McKinney. We went from there to Houston, and then from Houston to Galveston. From Galveston up to somewhere else. On the way back to Austin, and then from Austin we went back up to Dallas, essentially. So we did a big circle. One of my favorite places of all time now is Arlington, Texas. Man, that is so cool. What a place. Arlington's where King of the Hill, the cartoon series, is basically set. Man, the houses were so nice. The neighborhoods were so nice. Far out. Just unbelievable. And just the value of the real estate there is crazy. Like, I can't get over how lucky other parts of the world are when it comes to, like, I put this in quotations because it's different for everybody, but compared to where I live, man, the houses are like 10 times better and 60% cheaper. Anyway, that's my little story. But yeah, we got to see some really cool stuff. We went to Galveston and everyone's like, why do you want to go there? It's like this crappy little beach town or whatever. It was awesome. It's great. There's no one there. So we got pretty much the beach to ourselves and went to see all this like old architecture and stuff, local historic housing, and it was beautiful. It was really cool. Thanks whoever. Oh yeah, so that was from Improv Guitar Jams. Thank you, mate. Yeah, it was a great trip. It was super cool. Yeah, there's another little documentary coming up. It's a lot less time consuming to put together than the jam night one was. That was I was so happy to have that done. That was great. For me personally, it was just a project I wanted to do for a long time. It felt great to get it out. But I got another little one from Texas coming up too. So stay tuned for that. 2mm Jim Dunlops are very smooth. I always cut a crosshatch pattern on them with a box cutter for better grip. You know, that's interesting. I used to use the Jim Dunlop 1mm ones with the nylon ones with that. They're black with the grippy bit. I used to play on the grippy bit. I felt like that was the part that felt better to use on the strings. Hope I ate some good Tex-Mex food. Man, I tell you what, I ate some of the best food. It's one of the last days we were there. I got a big thing of wings, like boneless chicken wings, and a big burger, and we ate great. I love that food, man. I was in Austin actually not long ago for something unrelated to this channel where I did the South Austin music video, and we went out for what do you call it, like barbecue stuff. It was awesome. I'm not even that big into that kind of food, and I friggin' loved it. It was great. Love your channel. I noticed you're left-handed. Do you know any places for left-handed Epiphones? It depends where you are, mate. That's from Mr. Wisdom. So let us know which country you're in, and I'll see if I can answer you. If you're in Australia, Sky Music, it's where I borrow most of what you see on the channel. They've got 40, 50 left-handed guitars in as of right now. I was down there the other day. I'm getting a few of my guitars kind of serviced at the moment, and they had heaps. They got heaps of lefties. If you live in the US, you can go to Jerry's Lefty Guitars, which he's actually not open as of right now, but he will be again soon. And Southpaw Guitars. Public liability. Take it easy, mate. Thanks for being a channel member as well. And Eddie, thank you, mate, as well. I appreciate that. Just saw you pop up here if I didn't say hi before. Oh, maybe I did. Sorry, I answered your question, but I didn't say hi. Maybe my brain's starting to switch off. The jams with you and Ben at Sky Music with Stella. More, please. Hey, no worries, man. We're going to try our best to do something very similar coming up. So stay tuned. Ben's also going overseas again pretty soon, but he's going to be popping up on a couple of videos very, very soon. Yeah, we might wrap this up soon before I before I lose my voice here. Gold Top Rob says, best guitar channel, most realistic tones in the room. Hey, thank you, mate. What I've come to realize is like almost all of the YouTube guitar channels are using, and there's nothing wrong with this, but so many are just plugging into computers, right? They're plugging into their audio interface. They might be plugging into some sort of digital thing, which can work too, depending on the effect. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But over the last few months, I've just used amps with real speakers and real mics in the room, and there's nothing like it. I can always tell as soon as I hear the reverb on some of the, amps, it's too washed out. There's no amp that has a plate reverb on it, right? Or you get this clean tone that sounds overly produced. And that's one of those things where, like, I've tried just to go, I'm going back to, like, keeping it as dirt simple as I can. Occasionally I'll use the Kemper if I've got a modulation or time-based effect that needs a stereo effects loop, because I don't have that on anything else. But for dirt pedals and all that kind of stuff, you're not plugging it into an amp, man. It's like, I kind of feel like you're not doing, even whoever sent it out, you're doing them a disservice, essentially, right? But it's good for people to hear, well, I think so, an amp in a room with a mic in front of it. There's nothing like it for pedals. It's completely different. You get great feedback, you get sustain, and even with guitar reviews, right? Like, I might save time too. I use the Kemper from time to time, but if you're testing something out for the first time, you've got to have an amp, because if the pickups are crap, you're going to hear them squeal when you turn up, or if you throw in some distortion. So, yeah, I'm a sort of big advocate of using amps for reviews. It's sort of like it feels like not many people are actually doing that anymore. And it's understandable. There might be noise restrictions or whatever, but yeah, I don't know, man. As soon as I hear it, I know. I'm like, oh, where's the amp? So thank you, mate. That's an awesome comment. Miss Muir Avenue says, I only watched 1 minute of the Texas stuff and I was blown away. Oh, thank you, mate. Yeah, that place was killer. David from San Fran, thank you, mate. Thanks for joining in. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. San Fran's a fun town. I've played there many times over the last, well, not so much lately, but yeah, I've spent a lot of time in San Francisco over the years. How long have I played for? I started, I knew a couple of chords when I was a kid, like D, A, and E, essentially. And then at the end of high school, I kind of hurt my back. I know at the end of high school, I kind of started dabbling with it again, and then I hurt my back, and that's what kind of got me into wanting to play because I couldn't really do sport as easily. So, yeah, I've been playing a while now. It must be like, I don't know, how many years is it? 26 years or something like that, maybe? Far out. I don't know if that's, yeah, it feels like a lot more time than capability. It's kind of crazy. Hey, Shane Walton's here. Welcome, mate. I just saw you pop in. That's awesome. What is it, 7 o'clock? No, you're an hour behind me, right? So it'd be 8 p.m. there. Probably just finished dinner. I want to get back to Japan at some point. I think Japan's phenomenal. We were talking to Rhiannon about maybe potentially checking out some of those guitar stores over there at some point coming up because I didn't get to do that last time. I love Japan. I think it was like the most organized place I've ever been. There's a lot of people, but far out, man. They can board planes in like 15 minutes from when you're at the door waiting to walk out to like ready to go. It's unbelievable. Yeah, no one pushes in. It's like, yeah, it's such a nice place. It was super cool. Hey, Heidi, far out. Thank you. Holy crap. You're like one of the biggest supporters on here. Thank you so much. Let's see if I can. There you go. I replied to it. Hopefully that worked. Hey, there we go. Awesome. That was huge. 25. Now that's euros, right? Mate, that's crazy. Thank you. I don't know what else to say, but if I can help you with anything, let me know. That's awesome. Far out. Mr. Ryan says, just want to stop by and thank you for all the great videos over the years. Hey, thank you. That's great. I appreciate that too. Yeah, it's been a long journey doing YouTube. I sometimes feel like giving up, and then other times I'm like right into it. And I think the key is just to keep going. You'll go through these sort of like ebbs and flows of views and interest level and all that kind of stuff. But the idea, I guess, is to just keep it fun and keep it honest. It's sort of like it's what made it work. So thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks again, Heidi. You're a rock star. Far out. Hit the like button. Right. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. This is from George. He says, the best Strat pickups for soft, clean tone are the cheapest Chinese ones. Also, the guitars today, great. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think like a lot of people like the vintage sounding pickups, which can mean a number of different things to different people. But if you like pickups that are underwound and don't have a lot of output, then you'll get a kick out of those. I know guys that play like the Squire Affinity guitars because of their pickups. They love that real, almost hollow sounding pickup tone. So it's all subjective stuff. That's great. Muir says, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name properly, got a Mustang 4 for $250 to add to my man cave collection. Oldie but a goodie. Man, that is awesome. I'm still looking for another one of those. I want to actually see if I can get my hands on a Mustang 3 version 2 again. Try it out after all these years. I'm convinced that Fender took steps backwards after that amp when it came to the digital modeling stuff. That amp was too good, and I think they realized it's probably cannibalizing their better amps. It was way too good. Like nearly everyone I knew in my friend circle had one of those amps. I had the 3 and the 4, that same one. And the 4 is like, how crazy is that amp? It's so good. That's great. Well done. Pit Trap says, I Just bought a used Sire S7. I'm going to look that up. Sire S7. Let's look this up. I haven't done this yet for a bit. All right, how do I... Oh, yeah, one sec. I can actually share my desktop with everybody now. It's pretty cool. So bear with me. I need to try these guitars at some point. Let's see if this actually loads. Man, it's funny, you know, I had my internet upgraded the other week from the internet company. It was just like something they did. And like some websites is so slow. It's killing me. All right, let's try this. Where's the app gone? All right, let's try this. So I go to here, still working this out. I'm new with this software. Where did it go? Oh, here. Okay. This is just a local, a local shop. Here, that's the bass center. Looks good. Yeah, it looks really nice. It looks like it's got a roasted maple fretboard. Headstock looks okay. You know, usually with some of these other brands, you get kind of like funky headstocks or whatever. It looks good. Looks really good. Good value too. Do they make lefties? Or have they started making lefties yet? Looks nice. The very traditional 50s, what's that? Two-tone sunburst, but with a modern neck. Probably, yeah, again, probably fixes all the all the inherent issues with some Fender stuff, right? Like stainless steel frets and all that kind of stuff. Specs. Here we go. Roasted maple. There it is. Medium jumbo. Cool. Doesn't really say anything about the frets otherwise. Does it? Frets. I wanted to know the material. But anyway, yeah, it looks great. Well done. Awesome. Oh, the T7. Did I type in the wrong one? Sorry. Okay. That's cool. I'm sure that's all good. Cool. All right. Well, we might wrap this up unless anyone else has any questions or whatever. Thank you for all your support. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the questions. And I'll timestamp this in the next 2 hours. Oh, that'll be about it. But yeah, stay tuned. I got some. You'll start to hear some of these new playing ideas kind of start to come out. And I should have learnt this a while ago, some of this stuff. But yeah. Here we go. So Shane says, any new gear from your American trip? No, I didn't buy anything. The trips, doing those kind of trips are pretty expensive. You know, we had a car and the hotels and all that stuff. So it adds up. There was a couple of guitars I was really keen on, but I hate traveling with them. And I priced up what it would cost to bring it home. And it was like another expense on top of the guitar. And it was like, it starts to not make sense because I can get it for a similar price here. There was heaps of great stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. So it's easy just to keep buying stuff. I actually emailed one of the places we went to and said, "Have you still got this guitar? Because I'm interested." But I didn't hear back, so maybe it was a sign. Petra says, I have a Japanese-made Tele from the 80s. Very nice. Fender didn't make guitars for a couple of years and outsourced it to Japan. Beautifully made Tele 62 Candy Red. Very nice. I love that color too. That's awesome. I used to be a metal guy having two Ibanez guitars, RG and RS. You know, RG, I really like Ibanez guitars. Those RGs are cool as well. I've started playing more blues and bought a Hagstrom. Oh, very nice. Super sweet. I think I remember reviewing one of those. Very cool. Yeah, nice and light. Pretty lively sounding guitar. I think from memory, I like the bridge pickup more than the neck, but it's been like 12 years since I made that video, so I'm not too sure. I think that was one of the first times I ever borrowed something from Sky Music, was it potentially that guitar. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you, Todd Flowers. You got here right before the end. It's always the way. Anyway, everybody, thank you again. Stay tuned for the live premiere next weekend for the next Guitar Search Saturdays. and then there's another one coming up after that, and then something completely out of the ordinary after that. So yeah, there's gonna be a few sort of half random videos going up. So I hope you like the good mix of everything that's coming up. I just don't want to get stuck doing things I don't enjoy. It was my own fault. So yeah. Anyway, guys, rock on. Have a great rest of. Well, it's the start of the week, so have a good week. If I don't reply on a comment, and take care. Thank you. I do appreciate it. All right, now I'm just going to work out how to stop this. 1 hour and 40 minutes. All right. Wow. Thanks, guys. Take care. Thanks for all the mods and everyone for hanging out.